Wow, all of this over two little letters, something that we happen to call AI. We need to talk about it. Whether you're using Perplexity, ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude, which now everybody is like cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs about, AI is one of those things that is here. It's been here for a while, contrary to popular belief. And for many, is here to stay. But what does that have to do with you? And why is it making your marketing worse? Well, I've got to talk about it. My name is Stephanie D. McKenzie, and I am a fractional brand and marketing executive, as well as a foundership and entrepreneurship educator. And I love talking about these types of things. And so we're going to talk about it today. I feel very strongly that AI has been presented as this fix-all type of situation for solopreneurs, especially because it gives them the opportunity to create, right? It's a beautiful thing. It's almost like you kind of sort of playing God to a certain degree, right? Because you can take your words and your words are going to form things and flyers and graphics and logos, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And the unfortunate is that many business owners, even established business owners, have put AI into the wrong space. They just put AI into the wrong space. And as a brand strategist, as a fractional, when I come into an organization, I come into that organization to create the strategy. I come in to look at their messaging, their target audiences. I come in to create psychographics and demographics, because at the end of the day, all of these things play into profitability. And so it's really no different. It's kind of the same situation that we've seen on and on again, right? One second, guys. Here we go. It's kind of the same situation where people are taking shortcuts. Business owners take shortcuts and start the creative process without having a firm foundation. And one of the problems with using AI is that for many, it is creating a situation where you're getting what you need. Okay, you're getting what you need, but you're not getting it in a way that's actually helping you win. Stephanie, what are you talking about? Well, let me give you an example. Most people, and can I be honest with y'all? It took like 20 minutes for me to get these examples for you because I've trained my model so well that it knew not to do it. But for the most part, I see that a lot of business owners are putting up flyers and creative that look just like this. Just like this. It's a particular style, it's a particular type. And before you can say, "Oh my gosh, Stephanie, like we're just doing the best we can." I know that. But here's the problem. If my flyer looks like this and your flyer looks like this and your competitors' flyers look like this, all you're doing is diluting your messaging and you're confusing your potential and possibly your current customers and clients. Even this style is very prominent. I've seen this all over LinkedIn. I see it all over Instagram, Facebook. So between these two, if you are not doing some of the things that I'm going to talk to you about in this particular live stream, then you won't have an opportunity to create something like this. Again, it took 20 minutes almost for chat, and I used chat to do that one, those sets of graphics. It took about 20 minutes for it to do it because it knows I want this and I don't want this. And why don't I want this? Because I've taken the time to develop the brand and the messaging. And part of developing the brand and the messaging includes developing the visuals. Now, if you were a member of our community called Founder Folks, you would have seen that I dropped in a prompt that helps break and disrupt this pattern. Now, this is on brand, kind of, right? I told it to make something that was modern minimalistic because that's a style. So the challenge that many business owners have is that you don't talk to AI as if you're the person understanding the strategy. You talk to AI, whatever platform you're on, and you allow it to become the strategist and you allow it to dictate what it gives to you. And we're not going to even start talking about the cadences in the writing. I can take 5 minutes and look at somebody's writing, and I absolutely know that it's AI. Watch, it'll take me like 5 minutes. Again, the problem is not that you're using AI, it's that you're not using it in a way that is beneficial to you. Let's see what's in my feed. Let's see what we can get. Let's see what we can get our hands on today. Let's see. I'm sure there's some long form post, and you've got a lot of creators who are doing this. Long form posts come in with cadences. If it's not this, then it's this. That's not this, that's this. And so ultimately, I had to go in and strip some of that out. Now, let me say this. If you are a good writer, and I like to think that I am, your writing is going to sound a little bit like AI's default. Like I've been using M dashes since the 90s. So imagine my shock and surprise when M dashes started taking the hit as, oh, that's AI. The challenge is that I am very specific in my writing style. So when I talk to AI and I ask it to write something for me, I give it an identity. Ultimately, you are a Pulitzer Prize winning writer who has written for these entities, who hates AI, and whose writings are undetectable. Even with a prompt, and that's just the beginning of the prompt, even with a prompt that's specific, right? Sometimes it will still fall back, and this is the Gemini and even a Claude thing. For those of you who are singing Claude's praises, I will go on record and say there are some things that Claude does amazingly well. Yay. But part of the mastering, is that the word I want to use? Part of the capabilities of AI, part of understanding the capabilities of AI and mastering the capabilities of AI is knowing which platforms are good for which things. And so if you're stuck on one platform, like for the longest time, people were stuck on chat when there were already so many other platforms. Well, in my world, I know what chat does well. I know what Gemini does well. And now, since I've gone back to Claude, since y'all were just singing his praise, like, oh my God, Claude, I went back to Claude and I know what Claude does well. And in all three of those, and I use Perplexity every now and again. And then, of course, there's the AIs that are built into some platforms, you know, but I know what I need from the various platforms because I've taken the time to create the foundation. So Chat, Gemini, Perplexity, Claude, et cetera, they become team members. They're executing. Some of you aren't doing that. When's the last time you actually sat down and thought about your business and where it is? The foundational principles of of brand development cover communications, operations, and leadership. When is the last time you looked at those things? When is the last time you took inventory of your audiences, whom you're serving and whom you're seeking to serve? When's the last time you looked at your pricing strategy? Sometimes for kicks, I will throw something in that I want to say. Let's say I'm just thinking of some messaging, and I will throw it into an AI platform and say, who does this resonate with? Because some of you are allowing chat to dictate your business in such a way that you're speaking to audiences that you don't want to speak to or attract in. You're creating images that don't stand out because you haven't learned how to say, hey, this is my aesthetic. These are my fonts, aka typography. These are my colors, aka my palette. This is my style, aka modern minimalist, corporate whimsy, sometimes even urban bohemian. There are a variety of graphic styles and they can be communicated in a variety of different ways. Like I said, when I was showing you these, many of you are so familiar with this style and you're putting it out everywhere, but so is everybody else that doesn't know how to prompt like an art director or like a creative director. or you're getting this. Because again, this is what the platforms are dictating to you. It takes a little bit more to get here. It takes training the model. But before you train the model, you got to train the market. And before you can train the market, there has to be some training internally that says, okay, this is who we are as an organization. This is what we offer. This is to whom we offer it. This is how we best position ourselves. These are our competitors. And I know people hate to hear the C word. I don't have any competition. Well, you kind of do. And courtesy of ChatGPT, all the competition is the people that look like this. So what's happening? So it's really very simple. You're creating a homogenized identity. You're becoming a nail salon. You're creating a homogenized identity, and nobody knows it's really you. I'm just going to let that marinate. Nobody knows it's really you. And you're amazing. Some of you watching this, you're catching this live, you'll catch it on the replay. You're amazing. You're doing amazing work. I know because I know you. I know because I see you. Do not allow, and I used to say Canva to tank your commas. Okay. Do not allow AI to avert your abundance, because that is what it's doing. And people are walking around and they're looking for you and they're looking for you and they can't find you because you look generic. And I get it. I know you're like, oh my God, Stephanie, I can't believe you. I can't believe you're just ruining my day like this. I'm not ruining your day. I promise you I'm not. I promise you I'm not ruining your day. I promise you I'm not ruining your day. That is not remotely that's not remotely my that's not my goal here. My goal is to make you aware of the fact that the way you are using the tool is not to your benefit. You're basically using it like an upside down hammer. You're basically using the wrong end of the screwdriver, wondering why the screws aren't going in. Well, because it's not. Because once you understand prompting, right? Prompt engineering is I guess the real term. Once you understand that, once you understand how each platform functions, right? And I think I have something I can share with you. I'll put that down in the description. Don't look for it now. I have to add it. But there's so many more things that you can do, and it will become more efficient and effective for you. But again, you got to do your homework. Tomorrow, I'm teaching a masterclass on turning services into products. And yes, you can even use AI for that, but we can't use AI, artificial intelligence, until we become very clear in our business intelligence, in our human intelligence of what is necessary and what we're putting out into the marketplace. Feel free to drop any questions or comments on that, while I remind you that today's live stream is brought to you by Tractionista, and that you can get your free audit at tractionista.com. Again, these are tools. In the same breath that you could create this generic flyer, you could absolutely learn how to prompt in such a way that your brand development, your foundational principles, your typography, your palette, your styling, etc., is now recreated. Furthermore, you could take that styling and you say, oh, I've been using this font. Some of you are like, oh, I've been using the same font, et cetera, et cetera. You know, I've been kind of annoyed lately because the fonts that we've used for about 6 years, and now they're becoming popular. Even our color palette has become popular. I see so many businesses that are using our same color palette. And I'm like, what I'm not in the mood to do is a whole rebrand, recreate, re-identification process. But we did it first, so it is what it is. And sometimes that happens. Sometimes you're before the trend, sometimes you're in the trend, and sometimes you're behind the trend. And that's a whole different conversation. But nevertheless, I really want you to understand. So let's go back to this. Let's see. One second. Let's go back to this while y'all are asking questions and whatnot. All of the goodness. Uh-huh. And I'm going to go in the chat because that's the one that everybody seems to be so, well, now everybody's cuckoo for Claude, but that seems to be the one everybody's very familiar with. And I want to show you something real quick. So like I said, it took about 20 minutes for me to get those examples up because I've trained my model in such a way that wow, it just doesn't, and I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to show this to you guys. Let me see. How can I show this to y'all? Okay, hold on. Let me see. I'm going to give you the beginnings of it. All right. So I talked to Chat and I said, "Hey, Chat, what's going on with this? You know, how do I get you to stop making this alleged style that you've made for everybody else?" And so Chat told me, and I wish there was a way I could pull this over, but I don't think that there is. Chat replied to me, "Yes, the problem is the prompt is too weak. So the model defaults to the same tired community event Canva template with gradients, blobs, random icons, yada, yada, yada. Use a prompt that forces art direction first, not make me a flyer." I think that's the biggest thing. And this is Chat saying Chat things. Okay? This is not me. This is Chat saying Chat things. And so it says, here's the prompt. And it wrote me the prompt. So here's another thing. If you don't know how to prompt something, feel free to ask AI to give you the prompt. Now, some people say Claude is stellar at this. Claude will give you code, Claude will give you prompts, Claude will give you this. But don't feel like you can't ask the tool that you're using to give you the prompt so you can get the outcome that you want. Ask for the prompt. Ask for it. Ask for it. Ask it for the prompt. I think that's one of the most powerful things you can do, instead of trying to learn how to prompt better. Most of your prompts are weak. You haven't done this before. Most individuals who are running businesses right now, you have a different set of skills in your wheelhouse. And I think that's awesome, which is why I think it's great that you're using AI, but let's not mistake it. Okay? Let's not mistake it. And let's not get too beyond the fact that AI works best with human intelligence. Part of the human intelligence for business owners is actual human strategist, human advice, human counsel. It's someone like me coming into your organization and showing you how you win, putting that on paper, walking that through. I talk to clients every week and try to assist them in understanding how we move this thing forward. Could you throw that into any AI? Absolutely. Sure, you can throw your problems into AI. We do it all the time. But let's not mistake that there's still a value. There's still value in human. There's still value in the human's touch. Like I've said a lot of things on this live stream, and I think that's in the midst of it all, right? Whether you're launching the business, you're growing the business, you're scaling the business. By the way, those are two different things. If you're doing experimentation, if you're trying to get into data, and a lot of times you need more data. What I love about AI is that it can pull data just tremendously, right? But don't mistake and don't discredit the value of the human touch. The value of somebody knowing what they know, and can bring real experiences into your organization and into your life. Oftentimes, when I'm talking with clients, I'm holding space for them personally. It's not just about the business, it's about the business owner. What's going on with them? What's happening with them? And because I happen to be a multi-certified coach, I can pull from various lenses from life, relationship, love, bereavement, um, meditation, mindfulness, sleep science, integrative nutrition. I can pull from these different areas and support them. You know, we're in a season, we're in a period of our existence as humans where our connections to each other have been under attack for quite some time. I'd say about the last 6 years. And in all things, I think the best thing we can do right now, in the midst of all the chaos and the confusion and all of this, is still value the human touch, still value human counsel, still value care and concern for our fellow humans in business and apart from it. But ultimately, AI and your marketing, and why AI made your marketing worse, is because you didn't have an understanding from the human part. And so you're translating information into this machine, which, yes, it has access to lots of data and da 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 da, right? I'm not going to discredit that. But because you haven't done your part, it's only doing the best it can do. And so this is the part where I say, if this is something that's been bothering you, if you say, hey, I've been using AI, but I haven't been getting leads, I haven't been getting feedback. I'm tired of looking like and sounding like everybody else. I'm not sure what I'm doing wrong. Please, by all means, grab a call. Put call in the comments. We'll make sure that you get a link. I'm sure somewhere in a description or something is a link to my calendar. Get on it. Maybe we talk for 30 minutes and everything is fixed and you go forth and it's awesome. Maybe we talk for 30 minutes and you figure out you want to be in founder mind, or maybe that you need a fractional. And you say, hey, Stephanie, how can you serve me? And I say, well, this is what we can do. I don't know. What I do know is that you can't keep showing up looking like everyone else, sounding like everyone else, and then wondering why those who need you have not found you yet. Can't keep doing that. You got work to do. Maybe we'll do it together. Anyway, that's about it for me, guys. I'll see y'all again. Feel free, come over to the free masterclass tomorrow. If you want more information, put class in the comments. I'm always happy to show you how I can serve and support you. My goal is to take your positive brand equity. You got to have, and part of this is why I want you to stop being generic, is so that you can build that positive brand equity, because I want to take that positive brand equity and convert it into peak profitability. I want to make your founder dreams come true. So by all means, check us out. Founder Mind, Founder Folks, all the things. Go to stephaniedmckenzie.com/CMO or check out the College of Empowerment. We've got so many things. Listen, we are not leaving not one founder behind. And so with that, bye.
Have you been on a weight loss journey and the scale just isn't giving you the results you hoped for? Well, meet Thinner, an FDA-registered, all-natural, homeopathic approach that addresses the root causes of how to lose weight and keep it off, especially if hormones are an issue. If you're tired of all of the guesswork and doing it alone, scan the QR code for more info, and let's get you started today.